Yo, what's up, guys? With the Club World Cup coming to an end now for Real Madrid, it is now official. Luka Modric will be joining AC Milan, guys, on a one-year deal with another option for another year. Modric is going to be making around 3.5 million euros to 4 million euros, guys, in wages. Now, guys, what can we say about this deal for Luka Modric? I think it's a solid deal by Milan. Now, I understand a lot of people are like, oh, he's 39 years old, he's past his prime, he's old and all this other nonsense. I understand that all, guys. But listen, we're talking about a player here who played over 10 years at Real Madrid. This man won over 28 trophies at Madrid, winning over 6 Champions Leagues, 4 La Liga titles, 5 Club World Cups. This guy's obviously a Ballon d'Or winner, taking Croatia to the World Cup final, a semi-final at another World Cup. Luka Modric is one of the greatest midfielders of our generation, of course. He's probably one of the best midfielders in the world when he was in his prime, of course. Now, obviously, it's not his prime anymore, obviously, guys. But I think Modric, this is a great move for him. He's obviously fulfilling a dream. Of course, us Milan fans obviously know about that picture he has with his parents holding a trophy in a Milan tracksuit. It's obviously incredible to see this player fulfill a dream of his. And we know that he's still got a lot left in him. He played a lot of matches this year. He played like about 17 minutes of 90 minutes, guys. So he still has it in his legs. Still a quality player, of course. And he's going to help bring experience, leadership to the locker room. Obviously with a young player like Samuel Luka, of course, a young 23-year-old midfielder who can be a sponge under a guy like Luka Modric. So I think this is a great move for Milan, guys. Even though it's a short-term move, he brings a lot of qualities to the team, guys. He's a solid player still. He's going to really help this club for the next year or so, guys. Obviously, he gets to stay in shape for the World Cup on top of it. Obviously, next year we have the World Cup here in North America. So, obviously, he wants to stay in shape, probably playing in his final World Cup for Croatia, of course. Now, Modric, guys, he also scored 43 goals for Real Madrid. So, he was not short of scoring goals, but 95 assists for Real Madrid. So, this guy here, we all know what kind of player he is. He's a great ball mover, incredible facilitator. So we all know that Milan's midfield is obviously going to be a lot more dynamic with a guy like Luka Modric in the midfield. He is going to bring a lot of dynamism to the team when it comes to moving the ball around and finding the open spaces. Now, obviously, he lost a bit of pace, of course, but we all know that he can make it up in different ways with IQ and everything else. So him being in a midfield with Ricci, who knows who the other midfielder is going to be? Obviously, we all know that we want Arden Deshari to be the third midfielder to complete the midfield trio, but we all know and saw what Club Brugge was doing today, stating ridiculous facts about how they want to keep Deshari, how they haven't gotten a satisfactory deal for the kid. It's like incredible to see, but if Milan were able to get the deal done for Arden Deshari, this kid here as well, 22 years old, could learn under Luka Modric, of course. Modric is going to be a fantastic mentor for these young players. Even a guy like Rafa Leao, who's in the prime of his career, he could teach Rafa the values of being a champion. Even though Rafa's won a Scudetto and a Super Cup, he could take his learning to the next level and teaching a player like Leao's qualities, the maturity and what it takes to be a winner at every level. And not saying that Rafa's a winner like I mentioned, but Leao obviously shows some inconsistencies, of course, even though he's Milan's best player. This year, clearly, with guys like Modric and Allegri coming in, these are leaders and guys with experience that can share their experiences with these younger players, of course. So I love the move. Obviously, it's a short-term move. Milan are only playing once a week, of course, this year. So Luka Modric doesn't have to play 90 minutes every week. He could come in off the bench sometimes. He could start here and there. So he could be versatile in midfield, guys. So I think that with him coming in now, you add another piece in midfield. Allegri wanted him. He wanted to come to Milan, Modric, after leaving Real Madrid after not wanting to extend his deal. So I think, guys, this works for both parties. I think Milan and Modric are going to work out great, of course. Then obviously you get a former Real Madrid player, guys like Theo Hernandez, who's finally gone to Al Hilal. Of course, his deal was finally sealed. Then you get a guy like Theo making comments about management, saying they don't follow the values of the club like when he first arrived here. So those are eye-opening things to say about the club. And Theo Hernandez, we all know, is obviously 1,000% right, even though his standards weren't up to what the club expected him to play as this year, and obviously last year, of course. So I wish Theo nothing but the best. Obviously, him leaving, Modric coming in, you're going to need some experience to be filled in. So Modric is really going to help in that category there, guys. I would expect Modric to maybe take the number 14 shirt, taking Reinders' number there now that he's gone. So we'll see what number Modric picks. I like the move. I think he's really going to help Milan in a lot of aspects, guys. I think Allegri on top of it is doing really well to start the first few days of preseason training, of course. Seeing the videos, of course, he's very vocal, telling the players what to do. So positive signs to start preseason training, of course, guys. But it's only the first couple days of the preseason. A lot is ahead of us, guys. We got to see what happens with Jashari now. If Milan could get this deal done for this kid, that would be spectacular. And I hope this is the last bloody time that AC Milan deal with Club Brugge. I'm tired of these people. You know, they were making it difficult for Charles when Milan signed Charles to cancel a few summers ago. Now they're making the deal difficult here for this kid who has desperately made it clear that he wants to come to AC Milan, and Club Brugge are holding out for more money, knowing that they can get more money from the Premier League, but the kid's desire is to wear the AC Milan shirt, and Club Brugge are now holding this kid hostage. I think it's absolutely pathetic of a team to hold a player hostage when he has made his desires clear that he wants to go to AC Milan, a massive club, a club he has dreamed of playing for since he was 8 years old after seeing Barcelona Milan in a Champions League game, guys. So let's hope that Bruges stops being hard-headed, stop the stupidity, get the deal done with Milan. Milan will complete their midfield trio. Who knows if they get another guy, if Musa gets sold. We'll have to see there because Milan really screwed up the deal with Napoli. Could have gotten 25 million euros for the kid. Milan want 30. Absolutely ridiculous. Milan should have taken the 25 if you guys ask me. But this is how the management operates. I hate it, but it is what it is, guys. But getting Modric at 39 years old, like I've reiterated before, I get he's old, guys, but I think he's really going to help this team in the upcoming season, guys. He obviously wants to fight for titles. He obviously asked the club, what are we aiming for this year? And Milan have made it clear to him we're going to compete for the Scudetto, obviously playing once a week, of course, and that should always be the aim for AC Milan, guys. But, guys, that's it for this video today. We'll see what happens with Modric. Hopefully everything works out with him. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Hopefully he can contribute to the season this year, guys. Let's hope Jashari becomes an AC Milan player in the next couple days. I'm tired of waiting, looking at my phone every bloody day, waiting to see if the deal's done. It's getting very frustrating for us Milan fans. I'm sure it's frustrating for management. Let's hope this deal gets done. And then let's hope Milan can maybe sign a couple fullbacks. There's talk of Joel Adoué from Strasbourg. So let's see. There's another guy named Marc Pubel from Almeria. Of course, they're interested in the Spaniard. So a lot of options out there, guys. Obviously, a lot of talk about the striker position as well, with Dusan Vlahovic maybe leaving Juve on a free if they terminate his deal, of course. Lots of talk about Milan, guys, right now. A lot of outgoings, a lot of incomings. Camarda went to Lecce now, guys. So we'll see what happens. A lot of transfer news coming up, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, guys, if you like this video, subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Forza Milan sempre, as always, guys. Remember, if you do not watch sports, you're more. Ciao, guys.